Hello, guys. So yesterday I watched Thor 2 The Dark World, and I'm going to review it right now. And I have to start by saying this is so far this is my favorite movie in the MCU. I'm not kidding. It's so great. So let's get into the details. So I should start off that this one is not sort of not as predictable as the first one. It's much more. It has a much more complicated plot and not as cliched as the last one, which is always a good and positive aspect for me. Although the villain didn't really get much screen time and everything, I think that the basic this transporting and teleportation is a very good idea. Especially, I like the scene when the birds disappear from the sky and come through the floor. That was great. And the whole thing with the illusions, like the mother of Thor and Loki protecting the Jane Foster by sort of creating an illusion. So when Malekith comes, the Jane Foster isn't actually there. Loved that idea. Loved that subplot. I love Loki, even though he doesn't really like his mother, his reaction to her death. Also, how they played it out with Thor at the end. The viewers, like at the beginning, they're like, "Oh, Loki betrayed him! What a traitor!" But it turns out it was all very planned, and I love it. Also, after Loki's death, also after Loki's death, I love how when basically Thor returns to Asgard, Odin, who is already replaced by Loki, and is like Loki creates an illusion as if he is Odin. You can almost see something is fishy here. He doesn't. Anthony Hopkins is great because in this scene he took the personality of Loki as if Loki was playing Odin. You can see by the way he sits, moves, speaks, and even everything, you see how Anthony Hopkins actually portrays Loki's character in the form of Odin. And I absolutely love the reveal that Loki is still alive and pretending to be Odin. Like, it's so great. I was like, and oh my god, it was great. I loved it so much. Now, there are a couple of negative aspects about this movie, I would say. For me, the thing is, I really didn't enjoy the joke of this professor running naked around Stonehenge and then him being just in his underwear. It's just and but it had some, moving back to the positives, it had some very good jokes, like when Jane Foster's like friend the kisses with her boyfriend, and then the teleportation thing happens and they appear right next to the characters. That's great. And yeah, overall, the movie was great for me. It had some very great tension, like when Jane Foster is sort of cursed by this sort of power of the dark elves, like Malekith, and how she disappeared for 5 hours without even knowing that, and how it all really builds this sort of really mysterious thing which is like a threat because of Malekith. And I really did enjoy Loki's character and other characters as well. This one is definitely my favorite so far. The I liked the after credits scene. Like, for those who don't know, in the Marvel movies, after all the credits, like for 10 or 15 minutes, if you sit in the theater for like 10 or 15 minutes after the movie ends, you can see some additional scenes which are sort of building up, setting up the next movies. In this one, we see the people from Asgard bringing basically an infinity stone to the house of the collector, and he is like, one is here and five remain, setting up the him having the infinity stone in Guardians of the Galaxy, which I already watched before, so I really enjoyed it. uh yeah, and I think we had another. Well, the other scene was just for returning. It wasn't really much. But overall, the movie was great. I loved it. My favorite movie in the MCU so far, by far. So great. I give Thor The Dark World a 10 out of 10. Operensis is out.